Peter Elliot Stuart.
Talking about asbestos, Stuart, do you think there's asbestos in our office walls?
I think that's a distinct possibility.
Because I've been drilling holes in them.
Oh my fucking god!
Oh,
Wait, start recording.
already have.
Oh my!
A couple of hours in, I thought, wait a minute. This building is quite old, and there could be a substantial risk here.
You could be looking at the really bad types of asbestos as well, beyond white to the sort of brown and
chrysotile
blue and stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah. A little story. My friend's plumber, and he's having to get rid of this big old cast iron waste pipe. You're like, oh, cast iron, it weighs a ton, so he's going to have to smash it up with a hammer because it's quite brittle.
No.
Then take the parts out, and he got a hammer, and the hammer just went through it like it wasn't there, and it was bloody blue asbestos or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So
Well, my
escape
old
from the house
studio.
quickly.
Do you remember the dramas of the old studio? And in fact, I was and Peter was meant to be there, but he didn't turn up because he was asleep. It was 2:00 in the afternoon. We were. Do you remember the Christmas of 2019? Was it that we all met up in London?
No,
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, you were asleep. So I found out whilst I was there, in that pub with you, that my asbestos sample, my sample had tested positive for asbestos.
A urine sample?
Yeah, it was a urine sample. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, God.
No, it was
You got
a
asbestos in your bloodstream. That's
some
bad
debris sample that I had taken in. So essentially, I was
taken in, like some orphan child. Come with me.
It is cold out here. I will look after you.
I'd been feeding it and keeping it warm, and then it goes and does that. But no, so the place that I was in, it was essentially I was just doing like social media for this company, and then they were just letting me use their studio for a year, and then I was like, this place is pretty goddamn old. I'm gonna get some dust checked. Now, although the dust that I got checked was above us, like out, so I'd have to walk out and then go up into like an attic area, and then I just grabbed a handful of it, and hopefully that's not going to have been falling through to the ground before. But because that was such a high possibility, because the building was made out of like thin wooden stuff and there was gaps everywhere, I just thought, yeah, I'm going to leave this place because it's not really worth the risk. Asbestos is a horrible, scary thing. Jeez, this podcast's off to a good start.
I'm quite concerned now because I've drilled like multiple holes in the wall and there was dust flying everywhere, and I was like,
oh no! Did you wear a mask?
No, I didn't.
I mean,
brilliant.
The only thing I can say is that any exposure is not good exposure. I'm definitely not an asbestos expert, but any exposure is not good exposure.
That's why I'm here, to get your professional opinion, to be honest.
But the kind of people who have had big problems were people working with the stuff every day. Not that anyone should go out and start drilling holes blindly into stuff.
You've heard it here. Asbestos is safe as sound.
Do not just drill holes in people. It's not good.
Oh dear, Peter.
Yeah, it's the New York construction workers. They all suffered from problems, didn't they?
Also,
That
people
they were
working
with
on
every day.
Yeah, it was also people working on boats and in airports, doing like maintenance to brake pads on plane wheels.
Yeah,
like sanding those down, and also boats as well had a lot of it. But yeah, it's all asbestos is everywhere though. I mean, most houses built, or most houses that have had any work done to them since the 70s have got, like, up until like the early 2000s, have got asbestos in it, guaranteed.
What I'm hoping is, because our office was literally built in the 16th century.
Yeah,
is that the walls are that plaster made out of like mud and horse dung.
Oh yeah,
wattle and daub or something. Yeah.
That kind of stuff all crumbles apart, like with moisture, like, over years. You're just looking, your bricks are just holding each other together with nothing. Essentially, it's just,
given the amount of items
balancing.
I have in the office, that's probably not a good thing to hear.
No. How is the leak? Did the leak ever leak again?
Yeah, it's leaking all the time. There's like a
this place sounds excellent.
I've got a glass bowl just capturing the moisture constantly.
Oh,
but it's kind of saturated in the Amiga 500 box completely. So that's written off, and then there's just bowl on top collecting lovely fresh I drink it daily. Quite nice.
Asbestos.
Oh God, yeah, it's another song.
You know there is
Drip
a...
Can we move on?
hang on. I just want to mention the supervillain Asbestos Man who used to fight the Human Torch in the 60s.
Sorry.
Yep, that's a genuine comics character, Asbestos Man.
Was it?
He had
was
a super asbestos suit so the Human Torch couldn't burn him.
Oh my god, that is
That's not a
real.
superpower. It's just wearing some dodgy vest.
Oh yeah, a lot of the early superheroes like that. I mean, there's Quilt Man who just had a fucking.
I mean,
quilt,
Iron Man. I
you know.
mean, he's not a superhero.
Well,
Well, he is.
Well, he hasn't got superpowers.
True, you don't have to have superpowers to be a superhero, right,
Okay.
kids?
Right, Ashens is a very well-read comic man and film fanatic. Could you please give us the distinct definition of a superhero?
No,
So it's nothing to do with having superpowers.
not necessarily. No,
What?
but you need to have something which makes you super. So, like Iron Man has his super suit, you see, and you could argue that his super intelligence is kind of like a superpower
Yeah,
as well.
I suppose. And his,
so I could technically be
his super bank
asbestos
balance.
man,
Yeah,
and then just
yeah, exactly.
puff my way into the world.
I mean, Batman doesn't have superpowers, but you wouldn't say he's not a superhero, would you?
Yeah, that's true. But also, there's a lot of stuff. Like I feel like Batman, there's a lot more unexplained grey areas, like how quickly and easily he just disappears out of rooms. Like, I'm sorry, but there's
Yeah, and
there's stuff going on there that's not quite
But me
right.
and Peter do that when somebody starts talking about football. So, you know, that's not necessarily a superpower.
Oh wait, I'm getting the footy. No, I'm joking.
Doesn't
Peter,
doesn't
Peter was
Batman
going to put this
sleep
whole
upside
thing
down?
off.
Literally, Batman sleeps literally upside down, doesn't he? So that there's something
No,
wrong
he
there.
doesn't. No.
Does that
No,
happen?
he sleeps in a big expensive bed, doesn't he? Because he's Bruce Wayne.
in like the Michael Keaton Batman, he's like he gets out of his bed and he's just asleep upside down, isn't he?
Oh no, there's something where he's done. Yeah, where he's doing some weird episode. That's just like one scene in the '89 movie, if I recall.
Yeah.
Just for the Tim Burton's weird visuals. That'd be a good podcast. Tim Burton's weird visuals. Guess what happened
better,
to
though,
Asbestos
Batman
Man?
and
by the
Iron
way?
Man.
Oh, I don't know. See, they're different companies, so they're not generally going to meet. But in theory,
Different companies.
Yeah,
Is it not universes or is companies the right term?
well, universes is what they like you to say.
Late-stage
In reality, it's companies.
They work in rival companies across the road.
Always calling up the government to
Their only
tell
connection
tales
is the
on other
milkman.
one.
It's like little and oldie man.
God. 3 guesses what happened to Asbestos Man, by the way, in the comics.
He burnt to death.
No, a bit more obvious.
Got a lung
Did the
problem?
asbestos
Yes.
damage him?
Yes,
No.
Oh,
Yes.
literally, they
Are
killed
you-
him off like that.
he died of asbestosis. Yeah, because he had an asbestos suit. So
You're-
of course he did.
That's horrendous.
Yeah.
That's
That
a good
is-
way of getting the knowledge out to the people.
Yeah, make it their favourite character and then he dies from the only thing making him a superhero.
I don't think that was anyone's favourite character. It can't be.
No, he was not well known. It's a bit more of a footnote.
What do
He's
you
not
mean?
one of the
I'm
really popular
expecting
ones.
the origin story of Asbestos Man to be released in cinemas.
Oh, 28-part Netflix series. Yeah.
Yes, I'd watch that.
Tom Cruise is Asbestos Man.
Oh, God.
I guess that's the end of the podcast. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
that was
asbestos,
good.
no?
Enjoyed that. Nice bit of asbestos talk. Next week on Asbestos Cast, coughing.
Every
Oh, my
week.
God. This is horrendous.
That's
You
the
knew
idea,
would
isn't
be.
it? Surely.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
We could just have like 5 minutes of silence.
Yeah. But we could get a copyright strike from, what was it, Mr. Glass or whoever who released, not the character, the fictional character Mr. Glass, but the, like Philip Glass, the musician, did release several minutes of silence, didn't they?
Sorry? Did that actually
God.
happen?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You have all
They
of
were
these
trying to get it to
incredible
Christmas
facts.
#1 a few years ago.
I mean, Susan Boyle released a song called Enjoy the Silence.
Susan Boyle released a cover of Enjoy the Silence? What? Oh, I've got to look this up now. Susan Boyle.
It's just a research podcast.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
This entire podcast is about not being 100% sure on information.
Yeah, it was every pub conversation pre-internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Susan Boyle.
Wow. That is not a song I thought she would have covered. Bloody hell.
When did she rise to popularity? Was that like 1998? Bloody hell.
No.
What?
No. It was from the X
that's
Factor.
years she was active. Was she just like an inactive blob before that?
She was an active serial killer.
Before
that.
before fame, she was a blob.
Oh, 2000. Okay, 2008.
Wait, whoa, not physically.
No, we know what you mean. It's fine. It's fine. She was a primordial mass, unformed by the powers of nature.
What are
And
those
suddenly
little
she
things
came
in
into
Doctor
being.
Who? The little. Oh no.
The adipose. I
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
don't know why the hell I know that.
You know quite a lot of Doctor Who facts.
I do. It's odd that. I've never particularly enjoyed it either, so I don't know why.
I think the only Doctor Who's I watched were the Sylvester McCoy years.
Oh, I did like those when I was a kid, actually. I remember the Candyman and things like that.
They had the
Those
Candyman on there, did they?
Yeah.
the same
Candyman.
one
He was a
where you talk
giant
to the mirror?
Bertie. He was an evil robot Bertie Bassett. Seriously, that's not a joke. He genuinely was.
Oh my god, I need to watch this. I'm going to watch this now.
Yeah, it was a hell of a thing. That was called
Right
the
now, he just
the
Peter just
Happiness
leaves.
Patrol. I think was that one. Oh my god.
Amazing. I mean, he wasn't an especially exciting Doctor, but it just happened to coincide with the years I was watching TV.
Yeah, same here really.
What's more significant, a new Doctor or a new president?
In terms of Doctor Who lineage,
Yeah,
or...
I mean that's a bit apples and oranges, isn't it? Let's be honest here.
No, if I put my hand up and say that the next Doctor means more to me than the next president.
Well, I suppose if you lived in a country beyond the reach of American political influence, that could be true. But
I live in
there aren't many
Jersey.
countries like that.
Jersey.
And yeah, Jersey like to think they are, I think.
I'm sure there's more countries which are beyond the reach of Doctor Who influence.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you were very, very lightly touched by American politics at best, you'd probably be less touched by Doctor Who in the constitution of your country.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, I'm only joking. I haven't watched Doctor Who since. Well, I watched all of the David Tennant one and the Christopher Eccleston, was it, or Chris Eccleston?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. But the when Matt Smith came in, I could never fully. I mean, I think he was a really good Doctor. I think I must have just grown up too much at that point to continue watching it. Not that people
I
can't.
mean, how
watch
old were
it
you
at
then?
any-
8? 9?
Well, what year
A
was
month?
David Tennant?
No, it seems ages ago. It seems like...
Yeah. They've had like 890 doctors since
Early 2000s. I think he was. Wait, I don't know. God,
The last Doctor I remember watching was that Christmas special they did in the 90s. They did like a...
Oh my god, the one-off TV movie with Paul McGann, yeah.
So look, he started. Wait a minute. He started in 2005. So his first episode as the Doctor was in a mini episode during 2005 Children in Need show, and then he appeared in 2006. So I was 5. I was 7 when he started. So yeah, I watched him, and then in 2009, when he left, I would have been 11, and I just wasn't interested.
You were like Game Boys all the way by then, weren't you?
No, I spent a lot of time at the skate park, actually.
I've seen
With
your
the Game
videos.
Boy?
I mean, they're very impressive.
Really? You've seen my skating videos?
I've seen you with... I've seen like there's all these kids with skateboards and then there's you with a scooter. It's
Yeah,
like
that's me.
different from the beginning.
Yeah, mate, I was like the only person. Me and my brother were the only two people on scooters, really, and now scooting is the #1 action sport in the world. Not that we started it, but in Jersey we were definitely before the trend.
I mean, is it the #1 action sport?
It's been massively popularized. Is that a word?
Has it?
By YouTubers, actually.
Oh,
Like there's a huge scene of like YouTubers who all ride scooters. I think it started with a guy called Tanner Fox, but now
Tanner Fox. He sounds like a pro scooter rider.
yeah, he was really goddamn good actually. But I think he's now turned into like more of just a mainstream guy who just does like not scooting stuff really anymore. But there's loads of in Jersey now. You just see these kids walking around with like these crazy expensive scooters, and they can't do a single trick. It's just they want one to walk around with, just because it's like an image thing. But yeah, I remember when me and my brother started, you wouldn't. The scooters would be so bad. Well, yes, but yeah, definitely in Jersey. Yeah, we started before there were any other people doing it. But we used to have to, because our scooter has like a hinge. It used to have a hinge, so you could like fold it down. That's all been scrapped now. But because that was such a janky setup that was so prone to breaking, we would have to like modify them just to even, do stunts on them and stuff. It was really great times.
What are we talking? A bit of gaffer tape around the...
Nah, so you take out the whole like hinging mechanism, and then you'd put bolts through the holes where there would have been like the hinges. So then it would just be like a fixed. It would be fixed from the stem where the fork and the handlebar goes to the base of the deck.
Wow, this is a serious pursuit, isn't it?
But it's just mad now. Those things just don't even exist. They're like relics of the past, and you get a one-piece scooter now, which instead of having the hinge, and you can get those things for so cheap. When they first came out, a one-piece scooter was like unobtainable. It was like I remember it. It was a company called Mad Gear, and they were literally like £300, and there was no one ever.
Mad Gear.
And then
Mad
I
Gear
remember
is the gang from Final Fight.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you have to buy a scooter off Hagger and then like walk through a load of really violent thugs?
No, it's not
and
the
pick
same.
up a chicken out
to
of a
rescue
bin?
his daughter.
It's not the same spelling. This Mad Gear has 2 D's.
Oh, that is truly mad.
Yeah, it's mental, mate. But yeah, I remember one kid came to the skate park on a Mad Gear, and we all just absolutely lost it. We just didn't even know what to do with it. We were beside ourselves. I remember we kept having goes on it, and we would do a trick. We'd be like, "I'm the first person in Jersey to have done this trick on a Mad Gear." Like, good times.
That's pretty niche.
You crazy Jersey people.
That is quite a niche accomplishment, but no, it's good times though. I don't know what kids do these days. Like, not.
I mean, mine just tend to sit and.
I saw your drone video. That was cool.
It's alright, isn't it? That's a pretty stable footage. I'm quite impressed.
Yeah. What drone is it?
It's a Mavic Mini.
Oh wow, yeah, they're fantastic.
Really good. But like,
is it a Mavic Air Mini or just a Mavic Mini?
No, it's just a Mavic Mini, because the Mavic Mini is just under the 250 gram threshold.
Yeah,
so you don't have
it was
to
like
have
249, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's literally on the dot underneath. Yeah, they're fantastic. They're absolutely amazing. Yeah,
it's amazing for how light it is. I mean, it looks like proper helicopter like captured footage. It's like,
yeah,
wow.
They're really, really good. They're really, really good. I think the one thing that I don't like so much about drones is how, I mean, and you can get a Mavic Pro that rectifies this, but because the lens on it's like a GoPro, it's a really wide angle and it's a fixed, it's a prime lens, so it doesn't move, it doesn't zoom in or out. You can't make it look, you can't have any like sort of depth of field to anything. Do you know what I mean? It's
no,
all,
but
like,
I mean, how much
wide.
depth of field do you really want when you're 70 meters in the sky? I mean, you don't, unless you're capturing a bird mid-flight.
Well, not so much that. It's more so like you want to look like, I don't know. It's just you want to look like you're really high up, but zoomed in on something, and you can't achieve that.
It can do 4K, so you can capture it at 4K and then double it. So, it suits my needs. I'm not going to be capturing a lot of aerial footage, given my main basis is computers, but
they are very cool, and the software is insane. You can set your drone to follow your car and then just drive along a nice road and then capture all of that. It's unbelievable. DJI are the head. They are the best in the business. But now they made a Mavic Pro which has a zoom, like a lens that you can zoom in and out on it. It's insane.
My son's got a drone as well, and like a 20-pound drone, and he's unflyable. you need so much skill to even hover it in midair.
Just let him fly yours.
No, I did a little bit, but I don't want to do it too much. People could die.
This drone, by the way, is literally called the Mavic Zoom. So there we go. It's called the Mavic 2 Zoom.
It's nice. Good name. I like it.
Yeah, it's quality. Oozes quality.
It does.
Stuart,
Hello.
What is the newest piece of tech you have acquired?
Fuck knows. Do you know, actually, I did buy a piece of tech just the other day. Do you know what it was?
I thought you weren't going to tell us.
Yeah, that was it.
I bought a piece of tech.
Yeah, I did. It was great.
Was it a Atari Lynx?
No, it was not. I already have an Atari Lynx.
Okay, I've got a one. Was it? And I saw this on Techmoan, and it's bloody awesome. The automatic curtain opener thing that you can just say, Google, open my curtains. Was it that?
No, because I wouldn't want Google listening to me 24 hours a day, and I'd just open my own curtains.
Oh God, digging it tech mode. There we go. We called out a YouTuber like 20 minutes into
No,
the
that's his
first podcast.
job. He needs to make bloody videos on
No,
these things.
he said
That's
he
fair
wanted
enough.
it. He bought it because he wanted it. Because otherwise he has to
God.
like kneel on his sofa to open
So
the blind.
Techmoan has like a Google Home or something, and therefore no privacy. I shall make a note of that.
I mean, there's Alexas all around our office, Stuart.
Well, there aren't, because Daz took them out.
Well, okay, there's Alexas all around my office.
Really?
Yeah, it's downstairs, yeah, in my office.
Oh, good. Well, Amazon aren't quite as bad as good. But to cut a long story short, I once had a very short chat with one of the Google engineers, and it became so obvious that from their point of view, that Android and Google Home and everything, any functionality is secondary to them getting every single piece of data they
Mate,
possibly
it is
can.
insanely creepy how, you know, Emily and I will have a conversation about something, and then the next day, and we've had the conversation in person. The next day we see adverts for it, and there's no way that is chance
No,
because it's
yeah, I've seen
happened
that
on
happen.
multiple times.
But I'm so lazy that I appreciate that. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have to search
I know,
for
but
it now.
it's horrendously scary, and I believe. And Emily had like she has a sorry, we've completely brushed over what Stuart's new piece of tech is, but
We didn't need to know. It doesn't matter.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Emily
You
had
just
a
asked if it had one.
a Spotify account, and then it popped up that all of a sudden she could just redeem a Google like pod thing. It was just like this little Google. I think they retailed at like 30 quid. So she was like,
Oh, I got one of
that's
those for
excellent.
having a YouTube Premium account, I think, or something.
But yeah, it's like I think it's no, it's okay Google. That's what we have to say. So oh god, I probably set someone's thing off saying that. But yeah. So
Okay, Google, Alexa.
No, stop it. The thing is,
but
though,
it was
they
for
can-
free. So why would they do that?
they can-
Alexa, play songs by the Bevis Frond.
No, it's not. It's not responding to you. It doesn't recognise your voice.
That's because I don't have a Google Home, so they haven't got a voice print on me.
Oh my god, man.
That's a thing. That's genuinely well. I'm sure you know, but
But I mean, they collect data, but they're only going to use it to kind of milk your soul. So I'm fine with that.
yes, Amazon at the very least. Google, I dread to think. I genuinely dread to think.
Yeah.
Have you heard that little song the Google employees sing? Never have an Android phone, never have a Google Home. You come
God.
across that?
No.
I haven't.
No, you will. You probably will. You'll meet somebody at one stage. and
Can
it'll
you
come
sing
up.
a bit more? I was enjoying that.
No. You can only sing it once, because if not, you summon Google.
Oh no.
Then they know everything.
Right. So what was your new piece of tech?
It was, and in fact still is. Well, technically, it is a water cooling block for a graphics card. But I got a graphics card as well to put the
Oh
water
yeah.
cooling block on.
How was that all going? I don't remember you saying you finished
Yeah, really well in the end.
because it was
But,
quite an expensive piece of equipment that you were
what
putting
card is
water
it for?
nearby.
It was. It's an RTX 3080, one of the new Nvidia ones. A friend not only managed to find one, and a second-hand one that worked, but it was cheap. And like you can't even buy them full price.
Bloody
So
hell.
I was bloody amazed. I thought, I'm going to have this. And now they're just so fast, it's actually ridiculous. I haven't tried it in any games, but my video rendering is about just over half the speed it was. It's
impressive.
absolutely farcical, yeah.
I got a
Absolutely
3070 recently, and it's pretty good. But because I use Coral Video Studio for editing, it makes absolutely no difference.
Just because that's going to have no GPU acceleration.
No, it just uses raw CPU power. And even if you look at Task Manager when it's rendering, it uses about 30% of the CPU. So it doesn't care.
See, certain effects, if I do something through Premiere or After Effects, they're very CPU intensive. But most of what I do is fairly simple stuff with Vegas, which is highly accelerated. So it's been really good. But it was fucking terrifying fitting it, like really terrifying. Because my computer was built by overclockers, so I didn't build the water cooling system in it. And I haven't seen a water cooling system for like 10 years or more. The last one I saw was on an Athlon XP, for God's sake. So just didn't have any idea of how to get into it. There's no drain valve on it, and it's like, oh. So over a period of about 5 hours, I had to teach myself how it was all put together, then drain it, and then fit stuff, and then. Oh. But it all worked fine.
Yeah, I'm still very untrustworthy with water and PCs. I don't see how that works.
Yeah, I see how it works, but I also see how it could go wrong.
Yeah,
and that's the bit that worries me.
Yes.
But yeah, this is all good. I'm not sure I would ever fit it myself from scratch, but just for swapping something out, it was fine.
So, talking about rendering, you like my new spinny logo by Dave Brain?
I did like that.
Yes, coincidentally, the one I have used in the past.
See, I didn't. I heard the music on one of your streams in November, and I was like, "What is that music from?" And you were like, "Oh, it's from."
Yes.
And then I searched for it, and I was like, "Oh, I need to get one of these made instantly." So I asked Dave, and then he took about 2 months, and then.
No way! Right, so this is how this goes. So I only ever used that intro like twice maximum, because I ended up preferring the Anglia one. But about 2 months ago, I thought I might go back to that. I might email Dave and see if he'll do me a custom one. So I could have emailed him like the same day for the same thing. But I didn't in the end, so I thought, why am I spending money on this? So I'm actually quite happy with the Anglia one. So
yeah, see that your method is much simpler and straightforward. Yeah. But I was like straight to Dave, and then he was busy before Christmas. And then I had to remind him in January because he'd forgotten. And then he made it in like a couple of days, and it was like, well,
it's really nice. I don't know how because it's got all like reflections, and
he's a clever man, is old Dave.
Very
he did
nice.
the cartoon intro to Polybius Heist. That's all Dave.
No way.
Yep.
Oh, that's oh, Stuart, how's the traffic on friendfactory.co.uk?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you need to
check it these days. How do you even know? I don't have a counter on it or anything.
It should be. You can see it on the back end of whatever website builder you used.
Okay, I'm going to log in.
Well, I mean,
wish me luck.
So you've had 722 views on the unlisted video. So that means you've at least had 722 people click through.
Fun Friend Factory.
No, it's just
God,
Friend Factory.
Yeah. So I in my last video, I've just quickly reviewed this old promotional yo-yo from a thing called Friend Factory, which was a 1999 Sony attempt at a downloadable client that was like a sort of early text chat thing.
Right.
It wasn't very good. It was this Java-based monstrosity.
It's scary though. I was thinking about the name Friend Factory, and it's like it's the purpose is to make friends, isn't it?
Yes.
It's actually a really creepy name.
Because I see what they mean about making friends, but factory's a little bit too literal on the making.
Yeah,
I built my
manufacturers.
old pieces of beef.
Friend fabrication.
Some hideous AI.
But no, I say in the video, because it went defunct in like 10 seconds. Sony never even properly put their name to it, in fact. So I said, oh, don't go to the site. It's probably like a virus or something by now. And just after I rendered the video, I thought I didn't actually check what was there. So I went to Friend Factory, and it's like, oh, it deregistered years ago. You can just buy it for a tenner. Like, yoink! So now I own friendfactory.co.uk.
Wow.
And what a change it's been to my life.
I mean, we didn't know who you were before you bought that.
I know.
Yeah, and now not only do you not know, but you don't care.
Proactively trying not to care. Yeah.
Oh, God. I've got something I wanted to ask Elliot, but I can ask you both. I think this may prove interesting. No, it fucking won't. So, when me and Peter were growing, I mean, you're vaguely similar age to me, Peter. You're obviously younger, because everybody is.
Yeah, I'm a few years younger. But
yeah. So, when we were growing up, magazines were like everything. That's where you got all your information from. At one stage, it's where you got most of your bloody computer software from the discs on the front or whatever. What was your main magazine growing up, or main few magazines?
So, 100%. Oh wait, was I supposed to answer first?
It doesn't matter who does.
I imagine your answer will be shorter, so probably.
Yeah, my answer will be shorter. So and in fact, I'm actually doing a video on it at the moment. So the official Nintendo magazine was the main one, and I remember my mum buying me the first one, my first magazine, and I've still got that exact one. I actually sold it like 4 years ago, and then I remember this beautiful double-page spread that had a Game & Watch in it, a Game Boy Color, and a DMG Game Boy, and basically that was like my first exposure to them. And I was like, right, well, they are gorgeous. I want them, and that was it. I think the magazine was 2005, so I was 7.
Goodbye.